Mm, mm. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Opinion Spot, and we're gonna keep it going with the five, the top five in my 15 favorite Christmas specials, movies, etc. Yeah. So let's kick it off with number five, shall we? Like I said, we're going real quick. Going to get into this, and this movie is another classic, but it is also a well-known household classic that I believe everybody should watch at least once in their lifetime. Um, and that's simple. Yeah, it's A Wonderful Life. A Wonderful Life. To think that this movie was actually a box office flop when it first came out. But here's this movie where this man known as George Bailey prayers for he's contemplating on committing suicide, and a lot of his friends and family are praying for him, and their prayers are answered in the form of an angel named George Odebody. Odebody, yeah. And his job is to make George feel good and show that his life is not miserable and things like that, and also earn his wings. And that's the basis of the movie. And throughout the course of the movie, we see that, and see even at the end of the movie, George realizes that I have a wonderful life. He's got friends that love him, family that love him. Great movie, classic. I urge everybody at least once. Doesn't matter how old you are. You're not really into classic movies and things like that. I tell you, I kid you not. Watch it. You'll like it. Kid you not. Okay. So let's move on to number four. Number four is another classic animated special, and I do respect the live action version of it, but it's the animated classic that really got me involved in it, and it's a Dr. Seuss classic created by one of the greatest directors in American animation, Chuck Jones. I'm talking about the Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Oh yes, I love this animated special. I love the Grinch. You know how he's always mean and like he didn't, this and that and everything. I must stop this Christmas. And his little dog always helping him. And here you go, he dressed up like Santa. He steals the everybody's presents and stuff from Whoville. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the movie, what happens? He gains. There's a heart underneath that black, all that green fur, and his heart is not black. He does care, and it's just touching. It's just really touching. Like I said, I do respect what Jim Carrey brought to the table, what Ron Howard directing it brought to the table in the live action. I give Jim Carrey a lot of credit because from what I remember reading, he's had to spend like almost 11 to 12 hours a day putting on that all that makeup. So, and he was really good as the Grinch, but it's still the animated version that captures me more than the live action. But it's just a great piece. Very good indeed. All right, number three, Charlie Brown Christmas. Yes, you guys should already know I am a huge Peanuts fan. I love the Peanuts. From Charlie Brown to Linus to Schroeder to Lucy, Peppermint Patty, Marcy, you name it, I love them. God bless Charles M. Schultz for creating the Peanuts. Merry Christmas. Charlie Brown Christmas first aired in 1965, way before I was born. But when I got to see it, I loved it, and it's so funny because in the special, basically Charlie Brown buys this crappy, he buys this little tree off the Christmas lot, and everybody's laughing at him because And it only gets like one ornament on it, and to the point where the tree actually is leaning over. It's just so funny. I love it. Now I'm hearing they want to make a live action Charlie Brown movie. No, no, no. Charlie Brown is needs to be stay animated. You can't capture that live action, and it's just so many Charlie Brown specials and just the cartoons and stuff that I love. And if you're not a Peanuts fan, you know, I won't hate you, but I might look at you a little differently. Like yeah, like huh, you know. But no, it's just a regular great piece indeed. So number two, what could be number two? This movie, me and my bro, he's right here. Say what's up. What's up, everybody? Yeah, he's here. This is a movie that we watch annually every Christmas. There's a marathon. It's either on TBS or TNT. And bro, can you come here for a minute and tell that people what that movie is? It's a movie called A Christmas Story. Christmas Story. Yes, indeed. Um, A Christmas Story. Oh my God. This, I've heard people say they've never seen this movie before. I tell them, you gotta watch it. It's the story of a boy named Ralphie, and his older self is telling this story of when he was growing up in Indiana, I believe, uh, what he wanted for Christmas one Christmas. And what was that, guys? A Red Ryder BB gun. A BB gun. He wanted a BB gun. And it was basically always, everybody would always say to him, you'll shoot your eye out. You shoot your eye. They're too dangerous. His mom was this loving mother, but she could never sit down to have dinner, eat her own food. His dad cursed like a sailor, and they wonder how where Ralphie was getting the language from. Uh, oh man, this movie was so good. The chemistry that that Ralphie and his friends had, it was always a joy. Just hearing the kids curse, I would just laugh. Like they were like, you're full of shit," and I'm like, I just started laughing at it. And always all he ever wanted was a BB gun, and it was always funny. There were so many scenes in this movie that just had you laughing and enjoying. Like for example, the tongue on the pole, and I double dog dare you, and okay, and he sticks his tongue, and this is nothing. Tries to pull it off. It's that. It's that. Ah, ah, ah! He starts screaming like his friend starts screaming like a little girl. And Ralphie, no baby, put the bell ring, no baby, and things like that. And of course, when the bully, I'm forgetting the bully's name, comes into the picture, and then when Ralphie runs away the next time, and then the bully comes out and throws snowballs at him, and then what happens? Ralphie, he's really upset because he got his paper back from his teacher about what he wanted for Christmas. He got a C+ on it, and written in big red letters, it was "You'll shoot your eye out." And he was all pissed. He was all mad about it. So here's Ralphie just walking, and next toot toot, snowballs come at him, and then they play this music for the bully like. And then the boy comes down and, listen, chump, when I tell you to come, you come. And Ralphie's like, he's about to cry. And he's like, oh, what are you going to do? You going to cry? Go on and cry, baby, cry. Wah, cry. And so Ralphie goes from being this timid little rabbit to literally becoming Wolverine or the Hulk. And he tackles this guy, and he is literally mounting him MMA style and just wailing on him. And he actually beats the bully up, and you hear him, "You no good, dirty motherfucker!" And they're like, oh, did you hear what he said?
Ralphie, your
Yeah.
mother, your mother.
Yeah, yeah, Malfi, your mother. Oh my God, this movie. And then of course, here his little brother coming with his mom, and his mom is just like, Ralph, and you see Ralph, he's like, still trying, and then all of a sudden he turns to her and he just starts crying, and it's like, and at that point when I first saw him, I'm like, Ralphie, why are you crying? You beat the bully. Now nobody's gonna be scared of him. But there's just so many like scenes in the movie. Of course, when he said the F word in front of his dad, which go ahead, Maka, you know you want to do it.
Well, technically he did it. Well, we didn't even hear it, but no, it's funny. They got the thing. There's like that. Oh, fudge.
Oh fudge! Yeah, and then his older self said, "But I didn't say that. I said the big one," and stuff like that. And then even when he finally did get the BB gun, what happened? He shot his eye out.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, oh.
He shot his eye out. So yeah, this movie is great, and that's why it makes my number two. Um, it's just a classic movie, guys, that it still has me and Malcolm laughing all the time. We can sit through and watch the entire marathon, which they really don't really show a marathon, but I'm looking forward to seeing if they're going to show it this time around.
It should start 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, 8 o'clock tonight or so. So yeah, good movie indeed. And they did a remake of this as well in 1994, but to me, it didn't live up to the original. That's how sometimes it is. The remakes don't live up to the original. And that's none other than Miracle on 34th Street. Yes, our mother, first showed this movie to me. And from watching it the first time, I watched it in black and white and I watched it in color. I don't really care about which color, whatever is black or white. And I loved it. The first time I saw it, I fell in love with the movie. It's it's the question remains: was it really Santa, or was he just a guy called Kris Kringle and things like that? But it was more about helping this woman who was played by uh, Maureen O'Hare and her little daughter to believe in something again, because they were brought up, especially the little girl Susie was brought up to believe, like, everything. There's no, like, she really didn't really believe, like, no imagination, shattering no imagination, because there was like scenes where she would talk to Kris Kringle and she was like, the kids were downstairs playing zoo, and one of the kids said, "What kind of animal are you?" And she just said, "I'm not an animal. I'm a little girl." And it was like, so Kris Kringle was like, "Why don't you use your imagination?" And things like that. And it becomes this so much believed in the movie, guys, that we see that the mom and the daughter, they start to believe. And especially at the end of the movie, where Susie asks Kris Kringle to get her this house. For if she says, if you do get it, then I'll believe you. But if you don't, then you're just like my mother said. You're just a nice old man with whiskers. And at the end of the movie, she's like, I believe. It's silly, but I believe. And they drive by this house. She runs out. And she's like, this is my house, mommy. Mr. Kringle got it for me, blah, and everything like that. And all of a sudden, they don't believe it. And next they look in the corner near the fireplace, and there's a cane. And they're just like, oh, no, it couldn't have been. It must have been left by somebody else. And that's the twist, like, was he really Santa, or was it just left there? Classic movie, guys. I loved it. Oh man, it was just brilliant. And they've been running a marathon on AMC of this movie a lot. But yeah, just great. So there you guys have it, guys. My top, my 15 of my favorite movie, Christmas movies slash specials, etc. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, from the Bennett family and to yours, guys, I wish you have a happy and safe and Merry Christmas. And I will see you guys next time. You guys take care.